Good morning from the UK, guys. This is Lewis back again with another video by Life Path 1 Spirit Guidance. Today I've got a Divine Feminine Collective reading with you that's a little bit different to what I was originally intending. So what I did was I drew 3 goddess cards from the deck of Goddess and Sirens. So you had Sheila Nagig, Amaterasu, and Hecate. And then prior to those being drawn, we had 2 goddesses pop out as messengers for you guys, which we will deal with at the end. Basically, this video will be a case of split into 2 due to it being probably quite long, and in the past when I tried doing it, it wouldn't upload. So this is the third time's the charm. So for our first goddess, we have Sheila Nagig. Now she's all about gateways, moving forward, and transformation. As you can see, she is an older woman, so I believe this set of feminines are likely older, be you male or female, or perhaps even old souls. To start off with, we had the 9 of Pentacles pop out for you. So you are on your way to becoming Empress. As Bridget Rowe would say, you are in your single, sexy, confident energy. This was then followed by the Hermit. So this has possibly been a case where possibly isolation from COVID or just general isolation of yourself from others has allowed you to discover your inner light and inner wisdom, leading you forward onto new ventures. This is even more highlighted with the Death card. All the work you've done, all the self-love, self-value is leading to a transformation, not just within yourself, but without yourself. The world around you is changing as you step further into your Empress power and become that full Empress. This is a case of endurance. You have endured the dark, you've endured the difficulties, and have worked through your fears. Finally, we had Divine Feminine Dragon. Now, as I have done in the previous recordings of this video, I will read out the dragon's meanings and what they have to say. So, Divine Feminine Dragon, number 17. This little dragon came into my awareness around summer solstice. She helps us to connect more fully with the greater consciousness of the divine female energy. She tells us this: we possess everything we need for our existence on Earth. All we need to do is understand it. We have the power. When we begin to realize that we no longer have to look outside ourselves, speaking of introspection, with our Hermit, for answers, approval, or possessions, we truly begin the process of honoring ourselves as spiritual human beings, becoming that single, sexy, confident pre-Empress. She brings a great sense of acceptance when we find ourselves at crossroads and transitional times. Often she will appear when we are coming to a completion or conclusion of a particular cycle of events or at times of celebration. She guides us to hold on to our faith, stay focused during these times of change. Although Divine Feminine is the smallest of the dragons, she carries an immense power, and this is her message to you. It matters not how small you may feel on the inside. In truth, you are more powerful than you could ever begin to imagine. This power is not about control over others, nor is it egotistical. Rather, it is an inner power or strength enabling you to make necessary changes that are required. If you are nearing a time of completion on a particular project, it is time to celebrate the harvest to come. Remember too to embrace what you already have, for you are more abundant than you realize. Speaking very clearly of your endurance. She allows for the first time to acknowledge and touch a true feeling of personal power, for a real depth of trust in the divine to settle itself comfortably into our being, as well as working through all those fears, as you see. So straight off the bat, pile 1, well, not so much pile 1, feminine ones, you're doing great. I'd say you've probably been on this path for a while. As I said before, you're likely an older soul. Whether you're male or female, your dominant energy in this reading is feminine. So for our second goddess, we had Amaterasu. She's all about self-esteem, self-empowerment. She is the Japanese goddess of the sun. So maybe you have a very light and shining bright personality. So for your tarot, you had the Lovers, choices. Perhaps you've met a fork in the road, or perhaps you've possibly encountered a soulmate. But regardless of what that is, we had the Four of Cups to follow it up. Now this Four of Cups I feel is very different to the most other Four of Cups, as usually it's a man being handed a cup by spirit, but not acknowledging the cup. Whereas this very feminine individual recognizes and acknowledges the cup's presence. So perhaps you have made a choice, it didn't pan out, but the universe is offering you another chance to choose. Queen of Wands, again stepping into our feminine power, shining bright, learning to conjure that fire from within ourselves. Next, you have divination. Now perhaps those choices may come from overwatching tarot videos, maybe picker piles, maybe we're constantly picking the wrong card for ourselves and not listening to ourselves. Divination asks us to trust, to believe in the good, make a choice that is truthful to you. You will be offered the opportunity for choices, but you must remain courageous, fiery, and strong as a feminine, lest those choices repeat and fall into a category of not panning out. It's time to release negativity as your moon card. Again, this is all about that choices. When we make a choice and it doesn't pan out for us, we tend to look at it in a very negative light. And the problem is we begin to think, is it my choices? And while yes, it can be, it's also the case of you're holding on to that previous negativity. It's time to let that go. Then for our dragons, we had Grace and Asclepius. Now, Grace is a very solemn dragon, though beautiful. Grace has this air about it as something maybe being too good for you. It's a card that very reflects on self-love and self-worth again. Grace also speaks of understanding the worth of love. Dragons use a different word for love. Dragons use the word grace. And just like in Japan, our connection to Amaterasu, Japan has 3 words for I love you. They have daisuki desu for a simple friend or perhaps a date, I really like you. Then they have aishiteru. Aishiteru is a love that means deepness to you. Someone you've seen for a while, a very close boyfriend or girlfriend, perhaps and especially even your divine counterpart. And then finally, we have koishiteru, that person you want to spend the whole rest of your life with. That love that runs so deep and so passionately, it's a light in your heart every day. Then we had Asclepius, because you guys were lucky, you had two dragons pop out for you. Asclepius is very transformational. He has that wand, as you did with your Queen of Wands, and at his feet he also has a snake, hinting at transformation. The snake is who he was before he became the big, powerful dragon and master of his power. I think this is a very introspective time for you. I believe you do need to work on your self-worth and self-love. Hence why we have Amaterasu, because that is the repeating theme here. But you guys are on your way to becoming that Queen of Wands. You just have to believe and nurture that inner fire within yourselves. So I'm going to pause the video there, and we're going to move on to part 2, as I don't want to overrun the video too long, and hopefully get this uploaded. Please come across to pile 2 to see the final pile, as that also could resonate with you. You could either resonate with 1, 2, or 3, as this is a collective reading. But thank you again, guys. Please like and subscribe, and I will post the second video shortly. Thank you for watching.